Well, it's a great joy to see all of you. Would you please be seated? How are you, sir? Glad to see you. Who helped to organize this meeting?
Brother Anthony Shaheed, myself.
Where's Brother Anthony? I want to thank you and Brother Akbar. Who else?
Brother right here. I need to see.
Stand up, Brother Farrakhan.
Brother Orlando. Who else helped me?
Yes, sir.
Brother from Ferguson, the cop watch from him. Stand up, brother. David.
I just wanted to personally thank you for helping to make this morning, possible. I hope that you will come out tonight to hear what we have to say. And I'm just very fortunate this morning to be able just to look at you and to see what God is blessing me to see in you. I don't know, my dear brothers and sisters, whether you fully understand who you are and why you are as you are. Why are black young people so feared that the enemy doesn't really care how young we are? When he meets us, he says he's terrified. And he shoots first and never stops to ask a question. It's difficult for you to get inside of the white man's head to know why he's terrified of you. But I'd like to share with you why he's frightened. Did you know that there wouldn't be a white person if we didn't exist? Did you know that all the races came from us? Did you know that you are the mother and the father of every human being that lives on this planet, that they all started from the black man and woman? They're not going to teach you this in school. And you probably didn't go far enough in school to study genetics. But I want to share this with you because you need to rap about this. There was a great white anthropologist. His name is S.B. Leakey, L-E-A-K-E. You can Google him, look him up. Leakey wanted to find the origin of man. He may have stopped in Europe, but he didn't stay there because life did not originate in Europe. You know where he ended up? In Africa, looking at the bones of ancient people. Now, did you know there's a science that they could take your bone and say, oh, this is a black person, or this is a Native American, or this is an Asian, or this is a white person, because your genetic structure is such that you have the strongest of bones. They tried to make slaves of our native brothers and sisters, but it destroyed them. But the more they put on us, we survived. Think about the horror of the transatlantic slave trade. Being stuck in the holds of ships for months, laying in our own urine and defecation. Some of us, if we got a chance, jumped overboard into the open mouths of sharks rather than come to America to be made slaves. And what they took out of Africa was the strongest in Africa. And when we got through the Middle Passage, those that died in the Middle Passage and those that survived were the strongest of the strong. We have been under the worst oppression that has been accorded to any human being in the annals of history, and here we are. You can still laugh and joke and smile and sing and dance. And when white folk look at you and see the power in your moves as you dance today, hip-hop culture spinning on your head, everything that you do, white folk trying to learn how to do it, and you're the teacher. White folk don't know how to play no drums. That's Africa. That's Africa in Cuba, Africa in Central America, Africa among the native people, Africa. So he'll sit in the club all night long just to see how you turn the table when you are the DJ. How you make that sound? The next thing you know, the white boy doing it and you out of a job. No trumpet player play like Miles Davis or like Winston Marsalis. They play, but they play after us. They sing, but they sing after us. I ain't never seen white folk dance like they dance today, but they dancing after us. You are the original of everything. I want you to appreciate who you are. And I'm not talking about one of you, I'm talking about all of us. You are not some Johnny come lately. I'm going to ask you a question. How old is God? You say, well, wait a minute now. God don't have no birth record. Well, that's how old you are. You as old as God, because you are a direct descendant of him who originated the heavens and the earth. That's why they went to Africa to get you. We built civilizations while the white man was in the hills and cave sides of Europe. He didn't know how to build a house. He didn't know how to bury his dead. He didn't know how to cook food. Go read the history. This is a caveman. They They didn't have no fine body like you sisters. Their behind was like a ironing board. Now they want to get a Brazilian butt. That's you. That's an African behind. Oh, you the greatest that there is. And that's why you got to learn to love you. And if you don't love yourself, you will not look out for yourself. You see each other in immature terms. Like I'm a blood, you a crip. I'm a gangster disciple, you a stone. Well, this is your organization. But you cannot be defined by the color of your hat or the color of your shirt or any color that you choose. You're defined by the nature in which you are created. You can't even be defined as an African because before Africa was, you were. Oh, brother and sister, just the knowledge of yourself will make you fall in love with you. And then when you look at the brother or sister sitting next to you, that's your family. We don't get no credit killing each other. In fact, the enemy love it. Let the niggas kill each other. That means there's less of them for us to kill, but we gonna kill our share. So Mr. Leakey got into Africa and he found some bones. He said they were 750,000 years old. Now the white fella is a new man. He's a new guy on our planet. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Where is he a native? Have you ever heard the white man say, I'm a Native American?
No, sir.
Is he a native from South America? From Central America? He's in Africa. Is he a native African? He been to China. Is he a native from China? He ain't native nowhere. You know what native mean? I'm natural to this part of the planet. So if he's not natural to any part of our planet, notice how I said that. Our planet. The Bible says the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and you are the Lord's. That this whole earth belongs to. And the enemy has had rule over our earth for a season, and his season is up. And the reason he hates you and is afraid of you, because he knows that he came from you. Everything he learned of high science, he got it from black people. When he went to Egypt, which is Africa, and he saw the pyramids, he wondered, how did they do this? Well, it shows you he wasn't the one that did it if he's asking how was it done. And sitting next to the pyramid is the body of a lion and the head of a black man. And it's called in Arabic, Abu al-Hawl, the father of everything. That's who you are. They didn't bring no savage swinging in trees over here. Don't you believe that stuff? Ain't no Tarzan built America. Did you know that you built the White House? Yeah, we were on loan from the plantation when white folk wanted to build a Capitol. So they loaned us to the whites that wanted to build the Capitol. We built it. On the top of the Capitol building is an Indian, a Native American. That's your family. Whether you know it or not, they and you are the oldest people on our planet. Natural. The native people are not only natural to this part, because they didn't originate on this part. They've been here 16,000 years. You are a direct descendant of God Himself. You're not black because you're cursed. Some of us think, damn, I wish, I wish I was born a little lighter. So bleaching cream is a big seller now in Africa, where your brothers and sisters who have been enslaved and colonized feel that to be lighter or whiter makes them better. So the blacker you are, you kind of feel, I'm not speaking up.
That's right.
'Cause I'm black. And as a woman, when you're black, you feel you're not pretty. So the only way you make it in this life is when they make a black woman an object of pleasure for other races. And then we've fallen into that trap by making our own woman, who's the second self of God and us. You're not man's woman. You are God's woman. And when the enemy conquered us as men, a conquering army, the prize is always the woman. Because when two armies meet, when you conquer the army, you've conquered the male member who's the natural protector of that people. When you conquer the male, the prize is called booty. And that's why today, when we talk about shake your booty, see, that's the enemy's joy. He conquered us as men, broke us as men, and had access to our women as the prize or booty. And when the white man had access to the black woman, he made all these different colors. And he made the lighter feel we were better than the darker. He gave more privilege to the lighter. And so we began to think if our hair was curly, we had good hair. Who in the hell said hair had a moral quality? Hair is hair. Now, when you say good hair, that means what make it good? Because it's closer to the white boy and his stringy hair. But kinky hair, oh man, that ain't so good. But today you wearing it, baby. And you making everybody respect it. I like that. You're not ashamed of who you are. You just don't know enough about who you are to be yourself. What is yourself? When you and your homie are real close, what do you say? How do you refer to your homie that's real close to you? Say that again.
That's it.
I heard the right answer. Yeah, say that's my dog. Ain't that a... I ain't said nothing. When you call each other the B word, you're saying she's a female dog. And since she produced you, you're the son of a... Don't say it. Dog. See? No, you're not a dog. Now, what's the reverse of dogs? Say it backwards. What did you say? That's who you are. You're a God turned backward. And so now you yourself glorify the term, that's my dog. But I want you to get used to saying, that's my brother God. How could you go to church? I know you don't. I understand, brother. I understand. Because you see pastors and preachers as pimps. And for the most part, that's about right. You know, Grandma go to church all the time, and they tried to bring you there from the day you were 3, or as beautiful as this young girl is, and you sitting there listening to them holler and scream and jump up and down and come home to the same reality. So you don't follow that. But the Bible said God made man in his own image and likeness. So if God made man in his own image and likeness, and you are the first of his creation, he made you a God like himself. Oh, man. You got power, but you don't know how to access it. When he made man, he said he gave him dominion, rule, power over everything, the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, and every creeping thing that crawls upon the earth. That's for you to master. The Quran uses a different language. It calls you in Arabic Khalifa. Khalifa means one who stands in the place of God. One who stands in the place of God. That's what Adam was supposed to be. That's who you are. And the earth is your province to rule, to master. So what did the enemy do when he brought us out of Africa? How many of you in here know anything about the Machados? These are people that the Portuguese that came out of Europe into the Cape Verde Islands off the west coast of Africa. And their instructions were to go in, these are white people, go in and mix among the African women. Then you produce a lighter skinned black person. Then use that lighter one against the darker one and bring them out of Africa on this slave ship. If you see Brazil, I know many of us have not had a chance to visit Brazil. There are more black people in Brazil than anywhere else in the Western Hemisphere. There's about 80 million of us in Brazil. Now, when you look at the Brazilian, you see a lighter complected black person, but they're catching hell under the white Portuguese. They speak Portuguese, but they're not Portuguese. You speak English, but you're not an Englishman. Our Hispanic family, you're not Spanish. Spanish is the language that was imposed on African and Indian people. You're from Haiti. They speak French or Creole. They're neither French nor Creole. But the language of the oppressor was imposed on them. So some of us are black and we have French name. François Choncy. Comment allez-vous aujourd'hui? Now, that's a French black man. Now you got a Spanish black man. And you got an English black man. And you got a Dutch black man. So everywhere the white man went, he made us into himself and then put us at odds with each other. So if I speak English and you speak Dutch, but we both have the same ethnicity, I can't understand you, you can't understand me, we can never unite. Here we are in America, the original people of our planet. Now the person that Leakey found was called Zinjanthropus. Zinj meaning black, anthropos meaning man, and he had a father. And they kept going back, and they found bones 1.5 million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million. You could keep going back. You will never find the birth record of the black man and woman because we have no birth record. We are like the God who created the heavens and the earth. Nobody knows when he created himself because there was nobody to record it. That's you. And if you're free enough, you'll master everything that you put your hand to because you are the God. And I look at LeBron James. I look at Stephen Curry. Look at Michael Jordan. It's like no white man is on the court. I mean, some of them are pretty good. Pretty good. But they learn from us. When it's football time, you go look. It's us. When it's track time, it's us. We the master of the short distance, and Africa masters the long distance. We running the thing. When Serena and Venus went into tennis, tennis was a upscale white thing. We play tennis. When them two black sisters got into that, it was over. What's that boy? The golfer? Yeah, mother named him Tiger. I don't understand, but he became Woods because the white man that had his father in slavery named him after himself. He was Mr. Woods. What is your last name? What's your last name, brother? Say it again. Townsend. And yours, sir? Calvin. And your last name? Starks. And yours, brother? Watson. And yours? Say it again. Spell it for me. Oh, that's a little different. That's that's a little different. See, Watson, that's Whitey. Taka, that's a black name. See, when the white man owned a horse, a cow, a pig, he branded them. When he owned a black slave, he named us. So if you were on the Jackson plantation, your first name may have been Jesse. I'm just making an analogy. But Jackson only said that you belong to Jackson. If you got traded to Mr. Brown, then your name changed. Your first name may not change, but that last one would show that you were owned by Mr. Brown. Now, imagine how you look. You a black man, black woman. Somebody asks you, what's your name? My name is Harry McGillicuddy. They say, well, how did you, a black man, get a name like that? And you don't even think it's strange.
That's right.
But let a Chinese person come in here. He should have some name like Xiong Ting Zhu. And if he tell you his name is Harry Watson, something wrong with this dude. In other words, we are still walking around with a vestige of slavery attached to us. Now, this is not an anthropological session, but why am I spending time showing you your origin? Oh, brother, you said it perfect. If you know that your root is God, then your branch is also God. See? So here we are, offshoots of the root. Allah says in the Quran, I created you from a single essence, and I made your mate of the same. So no woman is made from no rib of a man. The same essence of God out of which we came is the same essence out of which she came. She is God too. What? Yes, she's a God. Well, you say goddess, I don't take the ESS off of it. She's a God. And if you don't believe that she's a God, God means force and power. Ask her, sweetie, is you a God? She said, well, you tell me.
Right.
I ain't going no further on that line. We can't live without her. She's a part of us. And when you love her, that's loving yourself. When you hurt her, that's hurting yourself. So no man should beat a woman. What kind of respect would you get if you hit your mother? In our world, they kill you for that. Because your mother brought you into this world through fainting and pain. She shed blood to bring us here. We came through blood to get here. Boy, that's a powerful thing, man. And the pain of a mother in giving birth is equal to the pain of life when death comes in. When the body shuts down, it's pain. So every time a woman lays down and gives herself to us, and out of that she produces life, she's extending your life and my life, because you can't live forever. No flesh and blood can live forever. That's why God creates everything in pairs, so that through pairing we reproduce the self. Do you see what I'm saying? So when brother looks at, this is your son, when you look at your beautiful son, you're looking at the extension of yourself. So if we go according to nature's laws, you will live 70, 80, 90, 100 years. You put into your son the wisdom of your life experience. Then you and I go to sleep and your son goes on. If you're lucky, you see a grandchild, because your child grows up and repeats the cycle. That's you going on. But you can't live forever physically, but you live forever in what you produce. So if God and us is the same, he made man in his own image. His physical body has to die, but his mind, his spirit lives, and he reproduces himself. So as God was, God is, and God shall always be. You were, you are, and you will always be. Now, why did I spend that kind of time? When the white man sees you, he sees his beginning and he sees his end. You can say, like Jesus, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, saith the Lord. And when he looks at you, young black man, young black woman, have you heard Farrakhan say that this generation is the greatest generation we have ever produced? You may ask Farrakhan, stop that. That's what they call hyperbole. The boy's just blowing stuff up. No. You are the greatest generation we have ever produced, because you're born out of the suffering of your people to end that suffering totally. You are the generation that the enemy knew was coming. See, they made our grandfathers, called them Massa, great-grandpa. Massa Thomas, Massa Woods, Massa Clark, Massa Jackson, and white folks walked around, yes. Beat this nigga, give him 50 lashes. He didn't say Massa right. And if you grew up in the South, your mother would be telling you things to protect you from the evil of the white man. When you see him coming, go off and get off the sidewalk and, and walk in the street. And when you see him, if you got your hat, tip your hat. Morning, sir. She didn't necessarily tell the daughter that. But you the man. And when you come up, they figure the challenge is going to come from you, the black male. Now, Grandma, Grandpa, they were afraid of the white man. And most of our people live in fear of white people. When we talk to them, we scratch and we ain't itching. We bend and we bow. And you see, even the best of us are afraid of them. But at last, the real love has come along. The black man today is the generation that God was going to use to answer the cry of justice that is the cry of our ancestors. You are that generation of young gods, male and female. How does he act when you don't scratch, you don't bend, you don't bow? They're frightened. This is a generation we can't control. Great-grandma was controlled by the church. You didn't hear me. If they smack you on one cheek, what you should do? Oh, that's good news for white folk. If they take your coat, offer them your pants. Pray for your enemy and love your enemy. That put us in control. Remember what the Lord said. The Lord said we should love everybody. But how come the Lord don't love everybody? If the Lord don't love everybody, are you greater than the Lord who created you? Well, the Lord does love everybody. Well, why he killed so many? See, you might love same-sex marriage. I don't know. You might have a male boyfriend or a female girlfriend. I don't know. But that's not your natural order. That's what has happened as a circumstance in our lives. Black women look for and want a real man. They don't want this freak that they may be married to. Oh, hell. They want a real man. And if you let her work and you stay home, ain't no way in hell she can honor and respect you. Because the nature of God in man is that he must provide for, maintain, and make a way for his woman and his children. But when you don't have a job, but you can make a baby, and you don't give the woman not even enough money to buy Pampers, how can she honor you, respect you, and love you? She saw something in you when she laid down and gave herself to you. But we disappointed her. That's why women fill up the church. Because Jesus is a real man.
Yes, sir.
Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
And the pastor claimed he represent Jesus. So she look at the pastor like he's a real man and he's pimping.
Come on.
She gets the preacher the nice car, the nice home. Well, that's what hoes do for the pimp. But he does his in the name of God. The real pimp say, "This is me, baby. Don't get out and work for me." Now, brothers, that's not the way you should treat your woman. And when she loses confidence in us as men, and she meets another woman who has the same experience with a man, and it's usually painful, they share their pain with each other, and they kind of love each other in a real sense, but they not really lesbians. They just practicing lesbian behavior because we are so disappointing and they don't need us anymore. White men make machines and they sell them in the store. And they can go longer than 2 or 3 minutes. How did I get into that? Though it's comical, on the other side of it, it's tragic. You can never be a woman, brother, even if you try. No. We're going to be real now. I'm going to keep it 100. Sister, you can never be a man, even if you try. And we can never be women if we are males, no matter how hard we may try. The best you can be is what God created you to be. But we have not become the man that God made us to be. Most of you right now probably have spent a little time in prison, in jail, because that's where we're programmed. The enemy says, well, I controlled your grandma and grandpa with religion. And there's another group of you that I brought to my colleges and universities and gave them scholarships and opportunities, and I control that segment of the black population by education and offering them a place in my world. But there's a young generation coming. I don't know how to control them and say, yeah, you can control them through offering them drugs. Right. Anyone who has experienced crack has had an experience that is very difficult to break away from. Once you become a crack addict, all your God powers are translated into a lie to get your next hit. You become a masterful liar to get the drug. So today is so bad in the hood that the brothers don't want to go to jail for the sale of the drug, so they start selling the woman. So turning the woman to turn tricks so that the man and the woman both can survive. That's how your God powers are being turned. The enemy knows he can't control you anymore with stupidity. He has to control you with drugs. And then, check this one out. We all love a little bling bling. And like our fathers, if I was a doctor And I could drive in the hood with the latest Cadillac. I was king for a day or a week. Because, man, when the people saw that fine-looking car and I stepped out in a fine suit, the young brothers would say, damn, you know, Doc is doing all right. Hell, I don't want to go 12 years in school to get that, man. Is there a shortcut? You see your entertainers, any of you who have been in the field of music and entertainment, you got to pay some dues to really become great over a long period of time. And some of us want instant gratification, like you like instant coffee, instant this, instant that. So now you become a rapper. And the record executives will give you a contract, but they don't want you to talk the wisdom that I've been talking to you today. See, if you got up talking about the black man is the first, hey, that's not going to sell. You got to do something different. Public Enemy, KRS-One. Come on, they had wisdom in their rap. And you liked that. You had the beat. You didn't even have to go to school because they were teaching now. And the babies, don't let them tell you that your child got attention deficit disorder. And then they send them to get some drug. And if you're not aware, sisters, you allow the enemy to drug your baby with Ritalin, which is a small dose of cocaine. But watch your baby. I've been watching this one since he been here. He been in that TV. In that computer. He ain't got no attention deficit disorder. Watch the babies playing games. They stay there for hours. And their hands moving so quick. It's the enemy that gives you things that attract your mind. But the education don't attract your mind. If I took your picture right now and developed it and sent it to you, who would you look for?
Me.
Who?
Me.
Who's me? You wouldn't look for me if I was in the picture with you. You'd look at yourself first. Oh, I'm looking all right. Well, Farrakhan, you know. So if you don't see yourself in the education, you're not interested. Who the hell is George Washington? What did he do for us? Christopher Columbus. Stop it. They discovered America, and millions of our native family were sitting right up in here. This is crap. Excuse me. This is, crap. That they feeding us and they call it education. And the children don't want it. It's not that they don't want knowledge. They don't want that. Because it's nothing but a dose of white supremacy called education. So now, how do we control these niggas now? Because these young ones, when I look at them, and the younger you are, see the old Turks that started the gangs, see the young ones don't even listen to you no more. The young ones done killed so many, they look at you and you better not get out of line because they bust a cap in you. You understand what I'm saying? And they keeping it 100. Sensei, nigga. They real, man. So when they see you, they see their end. I'm going to close with this. You young people are called the Joshua generation. Joshua was akin to Moses. Moses was not no integrationist. Moses wanted land for the children of Israel. Joshua spied out some land. And he came back and told Moses and Aaron, yeah, I seen the land. He said, but there's some giants over there in that land. And when the children of Israel heard that, they told Moses, well, Moses, I tell you what, you and your God go in and clean out those giants. And if you do that, then we'll go in the promised land. You remember the last speech that Dr. King gave? He said, I've been to the mountaintop. And I looked over and I've seen the promised land. He said, I may not get there with you. He knew something was coming. You know, when death is upon you, some of us can really feel it and know it. Dr. King knew it. He lived with death. He said, I may not get there with you, but we as a people will get to the promised land. Now the elders, they don't want to leave white folks to go into no promised land. Not the elders. The elders are tied to this world, tied to this people. They don't want to break from Pharaoh. But the young don't give a damn. The young say, well, hell, I never thought I would live to see 21. I live with death every day. So I'm not afraid to die. That's what got the white man controlling your fathers and your mothers, because they're afraid to die. And that's why they won't stand up. So every generation, they pass on a legacy of cowardice. But this generation is not going to have it. Because we are already dead. You can't die again. You're already dead. I just had a meeting with the police chief. Yeah. Y'all know who he is. Y'all know who he is. And I just said to the chief, I said, look, chief, I said, you got some Ku Klux Klan mentality police that have a mind of hate for our people. And they promised Elijah Muhammad that they were going to be in the police department in the 50s. Now they are there. They got the same mind of the Ku Klux Klan, but they're wearing a blue uniform now with a badge and a gun and a taser. And they can't wait to kill you. What you say, eager? Hell yeah. As eager as a hungry man to go to McDonald's and get a... And I'm loving it. Brother and sister, you don't see no giants. Your parents do. They're trying to keep you safe. You see that picture in Baltimore? The young brother had a stone in his hand, throwing them at the police, and the police were backing up. The mother saw her son with that stone in his hand, and she knew it was her son. And she grabbed that boy and put a hurting on his head. Drop that stone. What are you doing? See, that's the old generation, a good mother, wanting to protect her child. But her son was a new generation. And every stone that he threw, He threw it in the name of one of his homies that the police had killed.
Think about this now.
See? That's the difference between the old generation and you. And that's why you are in danger at this minute. Their intention is to kill off the young black male. That's in the scripture. Go read it. We were making babies. You making babies. You don't know what to do with them. But you know how to make them, because there ain't no school for that. You just got a feeling. And oh, what a feeling. That's why we'll always procreate, because it's the nature of the human being to produce after himself. White folks ain't producing many babies, you know.
That's right.
And many of you may have your little white girlfriends, you know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it 100. Now you got your little white girlfriend and you know, and now she pregnant. And here she come with a mulatto baby. He ain't white, you know. So you killing white people softly. Yeah, you firing away. They say don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes. You say don't fire till you see the whites of their... You firing away, and we got a whole new generation of half-white black people. Our president is one like that. Some of us have white parents. I would never tell you to disrespect your parent, no matter what their color is. Honor your mother.
That's right.
Honor your father. Because whether they've been there for you or not, they're the reason that we are here. So honor them and respect them. But they want to keep you safe. They don't want you to anger the white man. But you are that generation that don't care. What you're looking for is the right leadership. I saw what you said to my brother, Reverend Jackson, when he showed up in Ferguson. I said, oh, man, I felt sorry for Jesse. No, I'm not lying to you. I felt sorry for Jesse because he's yesterday's leader that got us to where we are. But he's not today's leader that can take you where you need to go. But we respect him for what he did. But they, you know, they politicians, they talk, but they talk, no, they talk nice words. See, that crap don't make it today. You got to shoot straight words. No diplomacy. Tell it like it is. When you see that kind of man, then you know, well, after you saw the Breakfast Club, you said, damn,
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
that's Farrakhan. How come I didn't know about him? Because the white man will never tell you about me. Because I've been kicking his behind for 60 years. And if you go up on YouTube and get me speaking 40 years ago, there ain't no change in me. Because he's worse today than he was then. So my brothers, my sisters, you are the people that are going to inhabit the promised land. You. And God is going to allow the elders to die out. Remember that picture in the Bible? Let the elders die out in the wilderness, and I'll take their children. That's you. But some of the elders, man, they stronger than acid. Because they've been through the fire. And as Shaka sang, I've been through the fire. And all our women been through the fire. And it's time now to put some coals on that fire, because we are at the end of the enemy's rule over us. I close with this. You know, Jesus was a master teacher. After he said these words, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's the first commandment. The second one, love your neighbor as yourself. Then he said, on these two hang all the law and the prophets. Then later on, he's about to go, and he says, this commandment I give you today. Love you one another, even as I have loved you. He's about to give his life. And he wants us to love each other like that, that I'll lay down my life for you, because you are not my dog. You are my brother, flesh of my flesh, and blood of my blood, and bone of my bone, and I will not hurt you. But I will die before I let the enemy harm you. See? Love ye one another, even equal to the way I've shown, Jesus talking, my love for you. And let me tell you, when we can break down the gang conflicts and really see that we're the same people, we have no right to kill each other like that. We're not justified in killing somebody because they show a different gang sign or they wear a different color. That's your family that you're killing. That family member that you kill, and they retaliate and we die, the white man sits back and laughs because he got us now doing his job for him. How can I go to Washington and take on the government, which I'm going to do anyway?
Come on now.
Because that's the real enemy. But you can send me there with greater strength if I know that I'm coming with an army of black men and women behind me that love each other and are willing to pay the price for us to be free. So I'll talk more about it tonight. It seems like I'm really working myself pretty hard, going in and out of all these cities to talk to our people. And I'm talking to the Native Americans. That's your family too. And many of you right now have Indian blood in you because they opened the door when we ran off the plantation Many of the Indians took us into their tribes, and we intermixed with them as they really are original people like we are. They're from the beginning like we are. And now they have 56 million acres of land called reservations. And the government got it locked down. So we going after the government. Because what's under their foot is $1.5 trillion in mineral wealth that they can't access because of the government. We going after it. So don't walk with me if there's punk in you.
Go ahead, say that.
I'm not a suicide man. But you know, when you've had enough, you don't give a damn. I told the chief today, I said, Chief, we are already dead. So when we get to the point where we can't take this no more, see, you really don't want to die. We are already dead. Say, you kill us, you got all the weapons to kill us with, but we already dead. So if we rise up, we can turn America upside down.
Yes, sir.
We don't have to do that, though, brother and sister. But we should be willing if it's forced to. We ain't Samson. Samson was a pretty strong cat, but he was blind. He let that woman blind him, you know. You and Delilah. You know how she is when she come around you. Oh, I don't know how to call you. How should I say it? African American, Negro, colored. Oh, baby, that's how I mean, just. And she get to the secret of your head. And today you're spiritually blind. We can pull the pillars of this house down on him. But unfortunately, if we do that, we die right along with him. God want to save us, but he want to kill our enemies. So we got to get out of the way so God can get to him. So Dr. King said, we don't have to go around acting bad, talking bad, throwing Molotov cocktails. Elijah Muhammad said similar. If we learn to fire the cannon of our unity. Now suppose millions of us go to Washington in unity. We ain't going there to dance. We're not going there to shake our behinds. We ain't going there to finger pop. We're going there to put our case before the government and before the world, and it's justice or else. There's something that the or else has to do with us, but the real or else is God himself. Don't you know if God were not with me, I couldn't have been in America talking like this and still alive? The enemy tweets and say, Farrakhan ain't dead yet? Talking like that? No, I'm not dead yet.
Go ahead.
But I'll tell you what, I'm so loved by God. Because I'm not doing, or I'm doing what none before me have done. We're here to finish the work of Malcolm. Finish the work of Martin. Finish the work of Garvey. Finish the work of Noble Drew Ali. Finish the work of Sojourner Truth and all of our black ancestors that fought this enemy.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This generation finishes it all. And when we die, our children will have freedom and justice, equality in a land of our own. Yeah. So I don't intend to be a general that's in the back
Go ahead.
ordering troops. I intend to lead troops.
Go ahead.
I mean, there's a difference, man. See, the generals calculate on your life. Well, we're going to lose so many when we take this hill. But I'm so valuable in the eyes of God, I want to go in front. Because I know if they kill me, all of them going to die. So I love you. And I'm willing to give my life in a minute if it would produce your freedom. I love our women, and I want to see our women respected and honored and protected. And I love our men, because I know you the real man. All you need is the guidance of God. My son gave me a message that I should close with. Leakey was an anthropologist, and he was in league with a geneticist named Mendel. And if you go far enough in school, which you don't have to, because if you feed from the mouth of God, it don't make any difference if you don't have their degree. I don't have their degree.
Go ahead.
But their degreed people sit at my feet. Because I'm not taught of man. I'm taught of God. Steve Jobs didn't graduate from Harvard. But because that man gave us the iPhone, and now we bypass the media. With that iPad and the iPhone and the smartphone, you can tap into any library anywhere in the world. You don't need this crap. And you should be ashamed paying all that money, going into debt for an education that you can't even use. We need a new educational system that's coming up out of God and out of us. Mr. Mendel said, light skin is recessive. Dark skin is dominant. You can get the recessive from the dominant, but you can never get the dominant from the recessive. And he went on to say, light eyes are recessive. Dark eyes are dominant. You can get the light eyes from the dominant brown and black eye, but you can never get the black and brown from the blue-eyed. You are the original people of this earth, and God wants to put us back in our original position. So when you leave me, today, and I hope you have time to be with us tonight, because I don't really want to talk unless I see the young.
That's right.
No, I'm serious. I will talk to the elders, but I don't want to talk unless I see the young. Because our hope is no more in the elders. Our hope is in the young who are unafraid,
Go ahead.
who are willing to lay it all down,
Go ahead.
that our elders and our ancestors' cry for justice will be answered. So I thank you for listening, and I thank God for allowing me this time with you. And I just really want you to start practicing love for yourself. Go home and look in the mirror. You're too beautiful for words. If you can see the beauty in a bouquet of flowers that represents the creative genius of God,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
if you can look at the ring on your finger, if you have a stone, all these stones created by God of all colors, you can see mountains of different hue. He creates the hue, but everything started in darkness and then came out into the light. You are the God, children, as David said, of the Most High God. And he ain't the most high because he smoked the most crack. Keeping it real. I was high when I came in here tonight. Couldn't you tell? But I wasn't stumbling over my words. I didn't have no notes in front of me. I'm high. Not high that I come down. I stay up all the time because what I'm using is free and it's for all of us. It's the wisdom of God in the Word. And that belongs to you. So I pray that God will give me life and protect my life until I can feed you as much of this word as I can get. And then the rappers, I'm looking to you to take that word and fix it in the way you know how to do and put that funky beat to it. And them that want to shake their booty, now you shake it while you learn it.
That's right.
And then get up from there and be your beautiful self.
That's right.
And if you're going to party,
Party with a purpose.
party with a purpose. I love you all. Thank you for listening.